and welcome to today's video. For today, I will be doing 3 looks with the new Nomad Verona Life and Death palette. I do have a review already up on this on my channel. I will link that down below. But for the first look, I was kind of wanting to see how soft glam I could possibly get this palette. I'm a neutral lover through and through, like down to my heart, my soul. I love neutral soft makeup, and as you can see, let me pop up this palette. This is not neutral basic soft glam makeup at all. It's very bold and beautiful, but I want to just kind of see how, I don't know, neutral soft glam I could get it. So if you like Nomad, if you just want to hang out, talk about some makeup, then please stick around for today's video. But I'm gonna zoom you in and let's get started on look number 1. So to kick off this look, I want to go in with the shade Tomb, which is a very beautiful soft light gray. I'm gonna pop that in my transition just to kind of start the look. I'm not gonna be going in with too many shades for today. I just want to see how basic I can get this palette. If you are a neutral lover and you mainly want this palette for Valentine's Day theming, maybe you love Romeo and Juliet and this palette just appeals to you, but you still love your neutrals at heart, you just need a palette to kind of like pop into whenever you want a fun pink, purple, blue, something along those lines. I kind of just want to be here to be like, hey, maybe you can also get an everyday look that you could wear to work or just running errands, because I think it's doable with this palette. So this gray is just so beautiful. I just love me a good gray. I feel like a lot of times grays get overlooked and they're not just really like, people need to hype up grays because they're so flattering. So next I want to go in with this shade right here. This is more of a charcoal gray. It's not too deep of a gray, so I think that you could make it work for every day, because if you do need it to go really deep, you'll have to pop into the black. But this is a very flattering gray. It's just a hint deeper than that first gray that we used, so I think that this is very versatile and you can build it up, but you can't get it like a super dark, deep charcoal. I think that this gray works beautiful for more of a mid-tone gray. So we have a light gray, a mid-tone gray, and then of course we have that deep black in the palette if you really want to smoke it out. I just got done putting on NYX glitter glue. Now it's time to pop into a shimmer, and for this aesthetic I'm kind of wanting to go on with a soft shimmer, and for me that one would be this one right here. It's very beautiful and it's like a green gold with a little bit of soft silvery, I don't know, it's a very like almost gray leaning. It's a very flattering shimmer, and honestly it's really unique in my collection. Like, it's just, there's something very, it's like a, I don't know, it's a dirty neutral color, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm just going to pop that on, and I'm just, oh, I love it so much. I kind of want to see how this will shift. Obviously, like on camera you're gonna see one tone, but in person you can kind of see more of what I'm talking about, how it's like a gold, but is it green, or wait, is it like a gray? I don't know. This is just a very unique shimmer in my opinion, but still very beautiful. You could definitely build this up, but I'm just going to start kind of shearing it out so we don't lose the whole vibe of being like a soft glam for the day. But you could definitely get this like super bold to where it kind of does have like that dark grungy shift to it, or you could just go in very softly. I think that you could get an everyday look with this shimmer, and I'm also going to pop that in the inner corner. Speaking of popping that in the inner corner, I will say that these shimmers in particular do not pick up the best with a brush. I mean, you just kind of have to really dig it in there, but they apply, in my opinion, better with the finger. Just wanted to note that, and also you don't get as much fallout, but it just, I don't know, it packs more of a punch with the finger, and you don't have to work as hard. So now it's time to do the lower lash line, and let me find my brush. Where did I put it? Here we go. I had to clean my brush because, as you saw in my initial review, well, if you did watch that, I did a very pinky look, and all my brushes were like super pink. So I'm just going in with the shade Tomb, that really light gray, and I'm just going to run that all along the lower lash line so we can kind of balance the look and it's just not completely bare down there. This gray, sometimes grays are intimidating for me they can be almost like too smoky. But this one, I feel like a lot of people are going to really enjoy it for transition shades when it comes to this palette. Now I'm going to pop into that really dark, not dark, mid-tone gray. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm just going to add that right on the outer part. This, like I said earlier, it doesn't really build up. It's pretty mid-tone. But if you do want it darker, like I said, you can just pop into the black. So that's kind of what we are looking like right now. Very soft glam in my opinion. So I'm going to finish the look up off camera and I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I went back and added just a little bit of the shade Death, this black, for just a little bit of liner, not too much. But if you added some dark black liner, you know, with some lashes, you could make this like very date night and smoke it out. Or you can make this palette very basic, everyday, soft glam vibes. So I just wanted to create a look like this to maybe inspire you. Some of you girls like me who are just a little nervous when it comes to this palette because all the bold colors, you can still tone it down. So I really do like that. So let me take this off and we can jump into look number 2. Look number 2, I'm kind of wanting to play with more of these purples. I might pop into a red even, but I really want to focus on the shade Tragedy just because I feel like this, out of all the shimmers, this is the best performing shimmer because honestly, these 3 on the left side, they are more of like toppers. And kind of same thing with the shimmer I just used earlier. There's like sparkly toppers. But I would say that Tragedy is really textured, you know, like you get a lot of pigment on your finger when you touch it, and that one can apply good with a brush, whereas the other ones, it kind of struggles when you use a brush. But I always use my fingers, so I never experienced that, except I did during the review, but just day to day I'm just putting my finger in it and swirling it. So I kind of want to play with the shade Tragedy and just kind of stick to some of the purple. I'm actually going to go in with the shimmer first, so I'm just going to put a little bit of NYX glitter glue on my eye. And I want to pop into the shade Tragedy all on its own just to kind of show you that shift. And I can also swatch it for you as well. But let's just like put this beautiful shade all over the eye. Oh, it's a beautiful purple shimmer, but it also has a green shift to it while still having some gold in there, and it has a really dark base. But I'm just going to layer that all over, so it's going to be more of a smoky look because it has such a dark base. Whereas like the shade Cupid, that has a very sheer pink base, this one is a very dark base, so that's why this one's going to look super smoky. But I'm just going to kind of build that up on both of my lids so you can see that beautiful shift. Okay, so I just put Tragedy all over the lids, and I wanted to show you a swatch before we go on with the matte shade. So you see how it has a very beautiful like purple sparkle with a dark base, and then you see that gold shift right there, and then green. So this is a multi-chrome. There's so many different shifts in this shade. I just wanted to show you so you can see how, honestly, just how beautiful this shade is. And there's like little bitty sparkles in there. This would be the perfect shade for the fall. I just wanted to capture how beautiful that shade truly is, because on the camera it just, you know, you can kind of tell, but the swatch really, like, oh, it's incredible. But once you're wearing this on the eye in person, when you're kind of like moving around, that's where you can really see those shifts. So now let's go into some of the mattes so I don't look so crazy. So now I'm just going in with the shade Tomb, which is that really light gray, to kind of blend out some of the harsh edges. But honestly, Tragedy can be a one and done shade because of the base. Once you get it all over the eye, it kind of like blends itself out on the outer corners just so perfectly. Like I barely did anything. Now I want to deepen it up with the shade Dark, which is a beautiful dark purple. I'll show you. It's almost the shade or the color of my shirt, honestly. It's a very beautiful plummy purple. I am just like a sucker for a purple. So for the inner corner, I want to go in with the shade Cupid over here. Beautiful pink purpley duochrome. It's a good sparkly shade. Sparkly topper. I really do enjoy that. So I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner just to kind of help brighten it up a little. So for the lower lash line, typically I would just go into the shade Dagger and then deepen it up with this shade. But I don't want to do a monochromatic look for this video because that's something you could do very easily. I'm wanting to put a fun pop of red on the lower lash line and maybe this shimmer. One of you have asked if I could do a red look and I was like, oh, I forgot. So I might go ahead and do the red on the lower lash line. So I will say that this red right here and this red, they kind of look a little similar once you get them on the eye. I will say that. They're just ever so slightly like a different hue. But I'm going to mix those two together because the shade Love is like super intense. And just run that all along the lower lash line. But I will say that you kind of have to build it up or else it can kind of look pink. Unless you have like a white base down. The red could just look pink, which that might be what's going on right now. That's as red as I could get it without using a base. If you use like a white base, you could probably get it more red. But I'm going to go in with the dark deep red that we have and then the dark purple and just add some definition on the lower lash line. Went ahead and added a little bit of black as well. Now I'm going to pop in with the shade Comedy, which is a red based shimmer with some gold sparkle in there. Because y'all know I love a sparkly lower lash line, and I'm just going to pop this on the bottom just for extra sparkle, and then I will finish this look up and show you what it looks like when we're all done. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for look number 2. My lashes are holding on for dear life, but that's okay because I'm about to just wash this off and start look number 3 for you. I really like how this look came out. I love the shade Tragedy. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the purples mixed with the reds. Honestly, they're not true reds. They're kind of more of pinky tones in my opinion, like once you get them applied. I will say that the shade Comedy right here, this one is, I would say, pretty hard pressed out of all the other shimmers. These two in particular right here, let's see, Comedy and Romeo, those two are more firmly pressed. So if you don't like a firmly pressed shimmer or like a sparkly topper, this may not be the palette for you because you kind of have to work for the shimmers. They're not very soft. You have to kind of like dig and dig and dig. But you still get a beautiful look once they are applied. So I'm going to wash this off and let's get started on look number 3. Guys, I'm finally back. I tried to wipe that off the best I could. I added a little bit more makeup. I still have some pink like in my waterline. It is what it is. I'm going to shower as soon as I'm done filming this video. So for the third and final look, I was kind of wanting to play with some of the blue tones in here. I haven't played with those yet. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So for me personally, I love popping into the shade Tomb, that beautiful soft gray. For my transition shade, I just feel like for me, I need it. It really does help me, but if you're like a pro, like you're good, you can just pop right in with the blue. Sometimes blues can intimidate me, so I just feel more comfortable going in with a gray to kind of help things out a little. And this gray has like the ever so softest hint of blue. Not really, but just a little bit. So I just love how all these shades really do. They all pair well with one another. Like you can go from pink to blue to purple to red. It's just amazing how well they all flatter each other. So we have the gray down and now I'm wanting to go into the blue. I'm really nervous because it's so pigmented. The shade name is Poison. Let me just show you. It is a super dark deep blue right there. I really do like all the embossments in the pan as well. It's like one of the little toxic poison bottles, you know. I'm just going to put that on the outer part. Wow, pigment, very, very pigmented. And I'm just going to start building this up. My son just woke up from his nap. He's playing. So if you hear him and his father, that is all the racket and commotion. It's taken me a little bit longer to film it because the washing off process takes a little bit of time. I'm going to go back into that gray just to help it blend. Whenever you're working with dark shadows, instead of going back into the blue to help it blend, I like to go into a softer color instead of just getting blue on blue and then making it look like I have a black eye. I'm going to deepen it up just a little bit more with that blue, but so far it looks beautiful. For the lower lash line, I'm going to first pop into Tomb and just run that from the outer to inner part. And then we'll kind of deepen out the outer corner with some more blue to kind of help it balance. But as far as blue, that's probably like as deep as I'm going to go, as crazy as I'm going to go today. Because I want to pop on a beautiful blue shimmer. I believe it's Juliet, right? Yeah, Juliet. So I honestly didn't think that Juliet would be the blue shimmer, but it's a very pretty shimmer, so I see why they picked it. Alright, now I'm going into Juliet, such a stunning blue. And I'm just going to pop that right by that blue matte and then kind of work it on the inside. I'm going to also play with the different shimmer, but I still want this pop of blue. Oh, it's such a pretty shade. Oh, this one's not as firmly pressed as some of the ones on the Love side. I would say that the Death side is more, I don't know, the shimmer quality. It's not pressed as firmly as the other side, if you were curious. But regardless, every shimmer is so pretty. Now to kind of brighten things up a bit, I want to go in with the shade Mars right here. And I'll probably mix a little bit of Cupid in because that has some really pretty reflex as well. And I'll just layer Cupid right on top to kind of help those blend together. But I don't know, I just really wanted to pair this very unique greeny, gray, silvery gold shade with some cool tones to kind of see how it pulls. Going back in with Cupid and kind of putting that right in between them just to help them mesh together. Oh, those look so pretty together. I'm just adding Cupid to the inner corner and to the lower lash line, and I'm going to finish everything up, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. So this is a finished look for look number 3. I love how it came out. The shade Cupid can really transform all the different looks. So I'm going to zoom you out and we can wrap up this video. Okay guys, so that's going to wrap up today's video. As you have seen, I have used this palette so many times. I have created 9 different looks so far. I haven't filmed all of those. I'm just kind of playing with them off camera some, my review, and then today I did 3 looks. I've loved every single look that I have created with this palette. The formula is really solid through and through. I will say the only one complaint I have are that the shimmers are just a little bit more firmly pressed in my liking. You can still get a really beautiful look. You just have to kind of go in there a few times. I typically will use my fingers to get max pigmentation. I use like a NYX glitter glue and that always works. I love the sparkle and dewy chrome effects that all of these have. I really do enjoy the looks I've been getting with it. They're very easy, foolproof, and I'm not like super comfortable working with color shadows, but these are just, they make it easy. So once again, I really do love this packaging. It's very unique and special. I love the inside so much. I love how, even though it's a larger palette, like there's 18 shades in here, like it's pretty big, but I do love how they have it organized, like a 9 over here, 9 over here. You can combine them with the warms and the cools. I love the theme. I think this palette is such a good reflection of the theme. They really just, they thought everything through. I love all the little details. It all came to life. And I really do enjoy this beautiful Verona palette from Nomad. I forgot to say in my initial review, I wanted to kind of do a size comparison for you all. So in case you were curious and you have other Nomad palettes, this is how it compares to Whistler Lodge. So it's a little bit bigger than Whistler Lodge. It is right on par with the Paradise Islands palette. It is seriously the same size. So I thought that was an important kind of detail I wanted to let you all know. As soon as I got done filming that video, I was like, dang it, I really wanted to let y'all know that. But just know that it's about this size, so very large palette. In my opinion, I don't typically like large palettes, but the way that they organize their palettes, it makes me want to reach for them all the time. So I really do like the way they have them organized, easy for everyone to understand, like, what look am I going to do today. You can mix it up or you can stick to monochromatic looks, but definitely a really good one from Nomad. Let me know which was your favorite look today. Also, let me know, are you going to pick up this palette or are you shopping your stash? But that's going to do it for today. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.